everybody, it's Nate Doggo33 here. Now for those of you who are familiar with this channel, don't worry, I am working on the next Transformers vs. GoBots episode. Here's a little taste of what's to come.
They're ready, Optimus. The Stunticons, Breakdown, Dead End, Wild Rider, Drag Strip, and me, Motormaster. All right then, Stunticons, let's roll for it.
And you can count me in as well.
Hey, wait for me!
Isn't that something? Optimus Prime ordering the Stunticons while they're inside the Autobot base to roll for it. How do I do it? I don't know. I'm just a magician when it comes to editing, dude. Now for those of you who aren't familiar with this channel, think of me as the angry Transformer fan. I want to be a fan ever since this concept got started in the 1980s. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing cool has been produced by this concept. Until now.
Transformers Cybertron War is the best thing I've ever experienced that's ever been spawned by this concept. I know it's been out for a while. I just want to tell friends and subscribers to this channel just how much I like this game. I found it fun to play and the story to be very well written. I enjoyed it so much that I think Michael Bay should quit. That's right, he should burn every scene or whatever footage he's recorded for Part 3 and let the guys who made this masterpiece make the next movie. Matter of fact, I think everyone that's working on a Transformer project should just stop whatever they're working on and let this crew take over. The game is that good. Well, I thought so anyway. I loved almost everything about it. The gameplay, the story, the music, the graphics. I found it all to be extremely well done. Have any of you guys played it? If so, what did you think? See, I own all three systems, so yeah, I got a copy for each console. I own all three because each system has positive and negative points for and against it. It's the only way to get the most out of your game, in my opinion. Now, on all three systems, you can choose to be either Decepticons or Autobots. But on the Wii, you can't choose which character to be. You can't transform whenever you want, or choose where to go. I started off as Sideswipe on the Autobots team. After the cutscene, he's running on his own, transforms on his own, you dodge debris, and when the obstacles are gone, he transforms on his own again, runs on his own again. Now it's a point-and-shoot game. Sure, I could choose which weapon, but being led around was boring for me. So I committed cybercide and went on to the Xbox and PlayStation. It wasn't until after I turned the game off that I realized the title on the Wii is slightly different. Transformers Cybertron Adventures? Oh well.
Hey, Primus, you're here!
There was nothing we could do, Bumblebee.
The people who wrote the story for this game kept everything that I found cool in Generation 1, and left all the crap that I hated from it and all other versions of the Transformers completely out of the story. Thank God! They could have really fucked this game up if they wanted. They could have gone all out and done it totally G1 and Michael Bay style and added elements from those stories that I hated. You know, like have dumb humans tag along on dangerous missions, making stupid jokes while the fate of the world is in peril, and getting high off pot-laced brownies in the cutscenes. They could have added dog and leg-humping missions, or forced the gamer to play as annoying Autobots after the cool ones get destroyed. In a way, it's sad. The only way not to have people charge in unrealistically fearless against the Decepticons was to have the game take place on Cybertron. Now, I ain't got nothing against Cybertron, but can't somebody for once please make a decent Transformer storyline that takes place on Earth? Well, at least this time, I didn't have to deal with any stupid shit.
I volunteered. Name's Bumblebee.
Now, I usually hate prequels, but this story is the exception. It takes place on Cybertron before the Transformers go to Earth. Now, I don't know if this storyline is based on any particular version of the Transformers that's been told before. All I know is that I enjoyed it. I had fun listening to the dialogue and watching the cutscenes. They were built like a miniskirt. Short enough to be interesting, but long enough to cover the subject. It was great to see all the characters in Cybertronian vehicle mode. And you get to see epic moments like Bumblebee meeting Optimus before he became the leader of the Autobots.
This Autobot needs repairs.
What? No, there's no time! I need to find the Autobot called Optimus.
I am Optimus.
And yes, that is the legendary Peter Cullen.
The Council will emerge when it's safer. In the meantime, Ratchet, Bumblebee, you're with me.
Oh, and I really like this scene when Megatron tries getting information about a power source from someone who would eventually become his second in command.
I am Starscream, and I have protected my station for over 1,000 years.
I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. This space station is Decepticon property.
I mentioned earlier that all three games let you choose which side to play, but the Wii doesn't let you choose from 3 different characters like it does on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Maybe the Wii gives you that choice later, but I haven't played it enough to know. Anyway, Optimus and Megatron were always one of the 3 to choose from on their teams when it's time to play as the ground troops, so I always picked them. But when it was time to play as the Decepticon or Autobot aerial forces, I picked Starscream and Jetfire. So I don't know how all the characters differ, control-wise or stamina. I played as Bumblebee for a while on the Xbox 360. There didn't seem to be much of a difference. Also, if you choose the Autobots first, it's a little odd because their storyline happens later in the game. So I played first as the Decepticons, and then later as the Autobots, so I can keep the storyline straight.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
I also liked that the controls were easy to figure out for both robot and vehicle modes when you first put the game in. On later, more challenging levels, I took a peek at the instructions to get a better idea of what button did what. You can carry up to 3 weapons. One of them is permanently fixed to your vehicle mode, but you can select between the other 2 in robot mode, and drop and pick up new weapons as you go along. There's different explosives, different rifles and guns, and even turrets that you can merge with or unhinge and take with you. Cool. Ammunition is limited, so keep an eye on your ammo gauge. And if you run out, there's no worries, there's plenty of extra ammunition just lying around, just like most typical video games. And when you find yourself low on energy, crack open a box containing an Energon cube. And if there's none to be found, you can lay low and heal. And talk about a rich environment. There is so much to look at. The graphics are like a living work of art. Cybertron is alive and always moving and changing. Now, it isn't the perfect G1 prequel, though. Some characters show up that aren't supposed to be seen until after they get to Earth, but I didn't mind that. I already pointed out the flaws in G1, so as far as I'm concerned, this video game could be the new Transformer canon. Also, Megatron and Optimus never battle each other. The main bosses at the end are Trypticon for the Autobots and Omega Supreme for the Decepticons. But those end battles were so much fun and so challenging at the same time that I could overlook them. My only beef with the game is the voice acting. I think they could have chosen more intimidating sounding people to play the Decepticons. I don't know, what do you think? Here's the opening scene from the Decepticons storyline. Listen to Megatron, Barricade, and Brawl. Tell me what you think.
Lord Megatron, stabilizers are failing. Maintain your heading, Brawl. Do not falter. Sublight engines are offline. Shields at 15%. Reroute all power to forward guns and thrusters. Full speed ahead. But sir, that's suicide. Any further objections? Ram this warship straight into the heart of that station.
Well, I didn't mind that too much. The script and the dialogue were so well put together that it overshadows that little detail. I mean, listen to the false propaganda speech that Megatron gives after defeating the Autobot leader, Zeta Prime.
You may rejoice, citizens of Iacon. Your new ruler, Megatron, has arrived. No longer will you be plagued by the burdens of freedom and choice. Henceforth, my will is the only guidance you shall require. Embrace the Decepticon way and reap its rewards, or resist and face destruction.
That speech was the inspiration for this video. I was originally going to upload it on its own, but I decided to make a video to express my overall feelings on the game that it came from. It is so awesome. Makes me want to slap a Decepticon symbol on my chest and go blow up some Volkswagens. You may rejoice, he says. No longer will you be plagued by the burdens of freedom and choice. It is rare when a writer can get me to see things from the villain's point of view. In his own twisted way, Megatron believes that what he is doing is for the good of his planet and its inhabitants. That is excellent writing. It puts all of Michael Bay's work to shame. Now, I know the game is old and lots of you have already played it, but I made this video for friends and subscribers to this channel that are already familiar with my disappointments in the Transformers franchise. Just letting them know that finally, for once, I can say there's a version of the Transformers that I found to be not only good, but epic. Nate Dogg 033 here, signing out.
With the enemy gone, they will finally live on. It's a rebel in their victory. Robotic warriors give it their all. Fight in disguise to the victors there's hope. Transformers, defenders of truth. Robots who fight in disguise. Transformers, when the battle is through, only the strong will survive. Transformers, defenders of truth. Robots who fight in disguise. Transformers, when the battle is through, only the strong will survive. Children run.
And they almost ruined it with that awful song in the end.